Okay, so the other day somebody hit my truck and knocked my mirror off, and so I just basically have it installed here with some duct tape, and because it was really difficult to drive, I put a little, mirror you got at Walmart in there just to get myself home. And then I went to the yard and wrecking yard and removed a mirror that's very similar in nature, will match. And so today I'm going to take off this door panel and just kind of show you how. I'm not a professional here, so bear with it. I've got music playing in the background, but it's basically just an instruction video to help some people out if you want to try to remove this. This is a 2001 Ford F150 Supercrew. So to get this off, in order to get up here to where the bolts are and hook up the wiring, because I have a electric mirror there are two screws down at the base here. There's one here, and then there's one over here, which is actually missing, and there should be one back in here. And so I'll be taking this whole panel off. Basically we will lift up on this and move forward. This will pop out right here and just gently slide across, and then once you have the screws and stuff removed, this whole piece lifts up a little, like maybe a half an inch or so, and then out, and that will remove it, and it shows a water barrier on the back, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes and show you what that looks like. So hopefully this should go pretty easy, and hoping that my mirror fits fine and this won't take too long. And again, my truck is dirty, the area here is messy, so it's basically just a quick instruction video for anybody. Alright, here we go. I've kind of got that on there. So just remove this screw. Oh, and there is a light that will be attached in here you'll have to remove. So just pull up on the front and then slide this out a little bit. There's a little tab right there that we won't want to break. And then the wires are attached on the inside in here. There's like 3 connector wires. Actually, in this case, there's 4. White one is going to be for the mirrors. The second one is kind of a red one. That's going to be for the locks in here. Third one is going to be for the electric mirrors on the front side. And the rear one is going to be for the child lock and the electric windows on the back side. I think I said mirrors, but I meant windows. So that comes off real easy. This piece here should pull out kind of gently like that, not to break those tabs, hopefully. And then it should just come right off. Take a little bit of force. There we go. So that piece comes right off like that. And there's one more screw in here. It's right here by the handle. Another Phillips head screw. It's holding the plastic piece on there. That holds the mount. So when I go back to replace this next time, I'll get another screw from the junkyard so I can take that off. Now, hopefully this whole piece will just lift up and off of here. I think I'm going to go ahead and push my lock down so I don't break that. Okay, and there we go. And there's these little tabs on the back. Oh, see, here's where my light bulb is attached. I think it's just a quarter screw right there, quarter turn, and it comes right off. But there's these tabs on the back that you don't want to break on here. So we'll just set this off to the side. Now it should still be recording. You can see the connectors here. This piece up here is what I've got to get to. Just going to remove this real quick. A little bit of a pain. I think there are 11s on here, and unfortunately I'm going to have to take my speaker out in order to get to the wiring harness that goes in here. So, but as you see, I'm going to have to take these 4 bolts off of here, 1/4 inch, remove the speaker so I can get to the wire that goes from my mirror that comes down in here and connects. And this is just your water barrier that it's got a real sticky, tacky tape to it, so we should be able to stick that back up there. And then of course when the panel goes on, it'll hold it in. You'll see these are the bolts that I have to take off, and as I learned in removing the others, they're real easy to fall down into the door, and you have to kind of fish them out, which is kind of a problem. On these plugs, just to be advised, when you plug them in, they each have a little connector on here that you'll depress and pull out, and you can see that in the back there that depresses. This top part is not the snap. It's actually behind it right there. See how that presses down? And that just locks them into place there. But basically that's it. Okay, I have the speaker removed and I've just basically stuck it here. I'm not going to disconnect it at this point. But if I pull this back, you'll see that this wire, they all run a little differently. Sometimes they come back in here and connect and you have access to here, but mine runs back, comes back on the inside, and then folds back in and connects right here. So I'll disconnect this and then proceed on removing my mirror. Okay, just to let you know, you can see this is what that bolt looks like when you take it off there, and I use a magnetic unit here, and so see, it's kind of looks like this. It's got a washer attached to it. Now I've removed all three of those, so now if you see the bolts are just sticking out in there. So what that means I can do, oh, and I also unplugged my cable here, so it's just hanging down inside. So I should be able to now just simply remove this. It fits, it's got a little clip that goes up underneath this piece here, and if you kind of slide this out, pull a little bit, and then you can pull that out down there. I'm hoping I can do this with one hand and show you. As you can see there, what that kind of looks like. I may have to put this down for a second. Okay, I've got it now. You can see how that little clip slips on there, and then that just slips off. So now I'll just feed the wire back out. Again, I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's a little rougher. There we go. And that's it. That's the old one. And hopefully the new one will match up just the same length of cable and all. And this new one, they were $199 at the factory from Ford, or I got this one for 20 bucks at a wrecking yard. And apparently the 97, I think it is, through 2003 Ford F150 Supercrews and Expeditions take the same mirrors. Now I have this one with the black piece here. Mine comes with the chrome, but these are also removable. There's a clip up inside here. I don't think I'll be able to show you that right now, but there's 4 clips, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, that you can detach the cover plates. A lot of them are color to match based on what color vehicle you have, and I just got the chrome there. So let me pause this and we'll come back to it. Okay, as you can see, I just basically fed this back on there. I put the clip in here and just lined up all the holes, run the wiring back through its space, and just going to sit this here for a minute and go on the inside and start putting the bolts on there, the nuts on there ready to hold it. Looks like it might be a two-hand job, so I'll set this down again. Okay, like I said, it's lined up in there. I'm just going to go ahead and put the nuts back on these 4 posts here, and the wire is run down in there, and I'll reroute it and connect it over here, and then we'll try it out. I've connected the mirror back to its connector. I'm going to go ahead and put the panel back on now, and then we'll try everything out and see how it works. First thing I want to do is go ahead and put my light bulb back in here. Again, it just inserts into that little knob opening and turns 1/4 of an inch. Line up my holes down here for those pins. Make sure I get my wiring harnesses back up through the connector here, so they just kind of hang there a little bit. And line up. This is a little bit tricky part. Is lining up all of your little connectors areas here. But it should just go in like that, and then slip down if I can get all of them in the right spot. This thing floats, the lock mechanism floats a little bit, so to kind of make sure we get it in just right. Again, this is going to be your hardest part of the entire thing, just getting everything back on here just right. And I think I did. So let's go ahead and put this piece back on. Well, actually, let's not do that. Let's put our screw back in here. That connects it and holds this panel on. And those are lined up, thank goodness. Let's see. And I'll get that other screw and be able to fasten that other side over there, which I'm missing right now. But for the meantime, this is what was holding it on to begin with. Probably see my bald head right now. You don't have to put that on there too tight. Just enough to hold it on. Tighten this back up here. You don't want to strip it out or anything. These have all got little pieces, and this kind of slides back in there. Remember, it was a little bit difficult. It's got a notch for it here. So we put this in the right way. So this slides in like that. So it actually, it moves this way forward. I was actually going against it, so good thing I didn't break it. And then we have our control panel here. It's kind of dusty. I'll clean that up another time. Let's plug everything back in. The white was in the first up there, so that just snaps in. The red was the second one. Snap that back in here. I think it was the gray one next. That's going to be for my windows. If they are reversed, I can undo it and reverse those real quick. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and gingerly work this back in. There's a little lever right here that slides down underneath this piece. Slides in like that. That snaps down. We should be good to go. What I'm going to do is take my keys now. Okay, left window, right window, left rear, right rear, power locks, and now my mirror. Works just fine. Look at that. Alright, there you go. Easy enough.